If you're a man who's dealing with flakes after a first date, or maybe you have a woman telling you, hey, it was nice to meet you, but I'm so sorry. I don't think we will meet again. Well, you're gonna love this training, my brother, because I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do to keep her interested after the first date so that you can avoid the stress and the anxiety of thinking, is she gonna see me again? Is she gonna lose interest? Is she still attracted to me? So, without further ado, let's dive into that. First of all, I want to tell you a quote that I wrote. Maybe some other people wrote it before. I don't know. But this is coming from the depth of my heart. If you strongly believe she will lose interest after the first date, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. What I mean with this is that your thoughts and emotions will directly influence your current reality. If you really believe that she will lose interest, she will. And that's crazy. It's like some manifestation shit, but it works like that, sadly. What makes a date successful? Before we even talk about keeping her interested, we need to talk about this. You had a good time together. You can feel in your heart it was a good experience. Like you can really feel in your bones, yeah, this was good, you know. You also both felt attracted to each other, and the polarity was established. It was man to woman, yeah? There was sexual tension from time to time, and you didn't crumble. There's a whole training on sexual tension in my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe to check it out. You also didn't make any weird moves on her, right? You're a cool dude, you're relaxed, you're enjoying, all good. You established the right frame and boundaries if it was needed. So if you're a nice guy, that's going to be a tough one because it's tough for you, right? So you need to be clear in what you want. You need to express your boundaries if you don't like something. And that's going to be scary, but you got to do it. Because if you don't do that, the date will not be successful. You also understood her feminine blueprint and honored it. So what I mean with this is that you can know what kind of woman she is, right? You can feel it. And this takes a little bit of experience, but when you get to that level, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. You also let go of the outcome and enjoyed yourself. How many guys don't enjoy the dates? Because they're overthinking about what to say, what to do. They're trying to make her like them, and obviously you don't enjoy yourself when you think of these things. So, obviously, if your date wasn't successful, there's a big chance she will flake on you. It's inevitable. And you can rely on text game as much as you want, but if the date wasn't successful, good luck with the text game. I'm actually someone that is not a big advocate to learn text game. The reason why is because if you have a successful date, you don't need text game. She likes you, you had an impact on her, she will want to meet you again. For sure. If you're a high value man, she will want. So in that case, if you had a bad date, let her go. Move on to the next woman. It's all good, my brother. Relax. There's a lot of women out there, okay? Don't be too much clinging. Yeah? It shows insecurities. That's it. And you need to have an abundant mindset. And what I mean with this is not having a lot of women around you. That is not abundant. It might look like abundant, but it's not. Abundant is something very different. And I'm actually, I might make a whole training around that because there's so much to this. So make sure to subscribe. If your date was successful, you can relax. Relax, okay? You don't need to keep her interested. If you had the impact on her, if she's attracted to you, she will want to meet you again because you're a high value man. So you don't need to overdo it, okay? Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the dynamic. And to be quite honest with you, the whole idea of keeping her interested, keeping her attracted, comes from low self-worth. Comes from, I don't feel good enough, I need her to like me because I don't love myself. Yeah? And this you need to deal with directly, right? You need to go internally and deal with this. I'll talk about it later. So it's really about not fucking up more than anything else. But I want to share some wisdom here with you guys. So here's what I would do if I were in your shoes after a first date. First step, I would stop playing games with her. That would be the first thing I would do. So don't try to ignore her to make her think you're busy and high value. And I'll expand more on this. So be really, really careful with this behavior. It can be a big trap. Don't strip away her validation as a way to make her like you. Come on, man, you're better than this. And what I mean with this is like, the push-pull. Don't exaggerate about what you're doing in your life when you're not with her, right? Don't create a fake life to make her like you. Come on, dude, you're better than this again. Let go of thinking that you need to keep her interested. Obviously, we already talked about that. And don't lie that you are busy if you're not busy. Seriously, you gotta be more authentic. If you want some authentic connection with your ideal woman, you gotta start being authentic as well. Step 2, learn to feel good enough. There might be a part of yourself that doesn't feel good enough, and it's okay because everyone have this part, okay? Everyone have it. All good, brother. And this not feeling good enough might be the reason why you feel the need to keep her interested, because you feel like she could potentially reject you, right? So instead of falling into this trap, learn to feel good enough. And the only way I know to truly feel good enough is through shadow work, hypnotherapy, parts work. This is what I teach to my clients in my mentoring program. It is predictable. It works every single time if you do the correct practice, the homework, and if you show up on the one-on-one session with an open heart. It works. It's powerful. Step 3, focus on your purpose. So this is what I mean. Like, don't pretend that you're busy. Don't pretend that you have an amazing life. Make your life amazing. Have an amazing purpose that fulfills your heart. And let's be honest here. Woman should never be a purpose as a man. Never. This is from The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. It's a book you should read as well. There should be a mission or a purpose that is driving every single cell in your body. Not just part of yourself, the cells in your body. Yeah. And ideally, this mission should be higher than yourself. Something that you discovered you were meant to be. For example, for me, 3 years ago, I deeply had the realization, thanks to a mentor I hired 3 years ago, that my purpose is to serve others, is to help others. And at the time, my expertise was dating. I was really good at helping guys becoming more attractive, confident, and masculine. So I started to teach that. Actually, I started to teach that 4 years ago. But 3 years ago was really when everything came together, right? Another story I want to share is a friend of mine that lived in Budapest, and he was passionate about bikes, repairing bikes especially. And every time I would see him repairing a bike, I would feel my heart melting. Like I could feel the love he was experiencing repairing a bike. And for me at the time, I could not comprehend because I was like, I could never feel that love repairing a bike. But for him, it was like that. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because your purpose is unique. Don't fall into the trap of like, I'm going to be an influencer like all the YouTubers. Come on, man. I know it looks cool, but everything is cool. Repairing a bike is so cool. It can be so cool, right? If you really do it from the heart, it's going to change your life. So don't try to copy other people. Find your truth. Find your purpose. And I'm going to tell you this. You will love your life when you will have the right purpose that is aligned with your heart. Step 4, pretty obvious. When you're in the process of having another date with her, you need to set up the next date. And this requires leadership. So you need to be absolutely clear on what will be the next date, right? And there's 3 ways you can propose a second date. And to be honest, not just 3 ways, there's more. But in my understanding, and I want to keep it simple, we'll make it just 3 ways, okay? So you can ask her just normally, right? Super chill. Hey, let's go here. Let's do that together this day. How does that sound? Very masculine to do that. Or you can create a mysterious context. So what I mean by this is you tell her, hey, I have an idea on our second date. I'm not going to tell you, but you're going to love it. And this will make her think like crazy. She might even dream about it, like, what is going to be? And the last way is the opposite. You describe everything that will happen on the second date. Like you go so much in details. And this will make her think also. She's going to start visualizing that, having dreams and stuff like that. So it can be really powerful to create some sexual tension. And last step 5, is to manage your thoughts and emotions. Like I said at the beginning, it's so important how your internal world is when you had the first date, right? After the first date. So be super careful of your triggers, right? Especially when she's not with you after the first date, yeah? Do not let your emotions and limiting thoughts control your actions. So some example, if she doesn't text you back, you might feel rejected. It happens. Or you might feel a little bit lonely, right? Don't double text. Don't do something regretful. Instead, you have to dive internally with some tools to really help you manage your thoughts and emotions. Okay, super important. If she cancels on you and generally wants to meet you, like she really wants to meet you, but she cancels, don't ignore her, right? Don't be that douchey. Don't do that. Or don't be this clingy, people-pleasing guy. Manage your thoughts and emotions, and then you deal with this, right? This is so important. First, you take a step back, and then you have a conversation with her. You come back to her, right? You really need to deal with your emotions. It's super important, because if they control you, you lose the masculinity, my brother. And if you lose the masculinity, no more polarity, no more attraction, and she will flake on you. You know? Another behavior is constantly checking your telephone, right? Don't do that, brother. You're better than this. A fearful man who knows he is fearful, meaning he is aware of his emotions and thoughts, is far more trustable than a fearful man who isn't aware of his fear. This is from David Data. Super powerful quote, which really represents what I'm talking about right here, right? You need to develop a knife-like awareness to recognize, oh, this is a trigger. This is my thoughts. These are my thoughts. These are my emotions. I want to do this from my emotion. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to fall into that. I am better than this. I understand that you're here. Little thought, little emotion, little trigger. I'm curious. Why are you here? Right? But you don't jump into it. You don't act from it. You have to become a little bit stoic on this, right? So some very cool practice are mindfulness meditation. So you observe your breath, maybe you observe your thoughts, your emotions. Shadow work is super important in that process. This is what I teach to my mentoring students. And it changes everything after just a few sessions because it's that powerful. And parts work is also incredibly powerful. A story, this is from last year when I was attracting my current partner. We had a long distance relationship at the beginning. And because I have a anxious attachment style, for me it was like challenging emotionally. So I really had to learn to manage my thoughts and emotions in a very powerful way. And to be quite honest, if I wouldn't do this, I don't think we would be in a relationship right now. I would have fucked up on something and, you know, she would have lost interest, lost attraction, and there would be no way that we would have sex and then enter in a relationship later on, right? So, yeah, I'm sharing this story because it's so important. If you're a man that is serious about attracting a long-term relationship, you got to manage your thoughts and emotions. Even within the relationship, like when you enter in a relationship, you still have to do that. It's not just in the attracting process, yeah? Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it if you're still watching right now. Make sure to like this video. This is supporting me a lot. And if you want to have access to a very powerful training on attracting your ideal woman into a long-term relationship, check out this website, realdatingconfidence.com. Really powerful training. I reveal actually my model, the model I teach to my clients. So you're going to love that one. Thank you, guys. And I see you when I see you. Peace.